He cheated. But does that make him a monster or just human? The first time I heard this question, I was in a relationship with my high school sweetheart. I told him about this random guy who cheated on his girlfriend of 3 years for a one-night stand and then dumped her. "What an asshole," he said. Then his eyes widened. "Wait, you think that makes him a monster?" He paused. "No, just human." That made me sad. Was this the same guy who would hold my hand and promise to love me forever? What had changed? A week later, I found out why. A girl from his past had messaged him on social media, and he had responded. It was innocent at first, just two friends catching up. But then they started talking every day, sometimes until 3 a.m. And although he swore nothing was going on between them, I couldn't help but feel there was more to the story. One day, I checked his phone and found explicit photos of him and this girl, the girl he had cheated with. The betrayal cut deep. I felt humiliated, angry, and above all, confused because the guy I loved had cheated. But was he a monster? In psychology, there's a term called the .4 effect. It's based on the belief that humans have 4 stomachs. The first is our real stomach, where food is stored. The second is the place where love is stored. The third is the space where hate is stored. And the fourth is where we store everything else. When our real stomach is empty, we feel hunger and go eat. When our love stomach is empty, we seek love and affection. When our hate stomach is empty, we lash out at others. And when our miscellaneous stomach is empty, we engage in random activities. This can be applied to almost everything people do. When you're hungry, you don't plan elaborate meals. You grab whatever you can. When you're lonely, you don't look for quality company. You just want someone around. When you're angry, you don't think clearly. You lash out. When you're bored, you don't seek entertainment. You just want to do something. So is cheating a product of our human nature? Are we too primal to handle love without also wanting something on the side? There are 168 million Google search results for the term cheating. Does that mean 1 in 168 million people cheat? Of course not. It just means that many of us are curious about it. I believe cheating is something most people think about, but very few actually do. It doesn't excuse it, but it gives us perspective. If your partner cheats, it's not because they're a monster. It's because they're human. Humans evolved in an era where finding a mate was a matter of chance. Women had to walk long distances to fetch water. Men had to hunt wild animals for food. In such conditions, if you wanted to find a mate, you had to optimize for speed over compatibility. The fastest way to find a partner was by choosing someone close rather than someone perfect. Love was like a side quest in the game of life. You had to complete it if you didn't want to be alone, but it wasn't the main objective. Today, things have changed. We live in an age where you can find anything you want online. There are countless profiles, messages, and endless options. This has made love into the main quest. Compatibility is now prioritized over convenience. And once you find your person, you want to lock them down. You want to make sure they're the one before settling down with them. Because when you put so much emphasis on love, the stakes get higher. You start comparing every new partner to the last one. And if they're not better, you let them go. But here's the paradox. When the stakes get higher, so does the pain. If you lose a game of Monopoly, you lose money. But if you lose a game of love, you lose time. Time you'll never get back. This is why people cling to relationships too long. They're afraid of losing that time, even if the relationship isn't right. I know a woman who wasted 5 years of her life with a man who was cheating on her. He had affairs every few months, and she knew about it, but she chose to stay. Why? Because leaving meant admitting defeat, meant accepting that 5 years of her life were a waste. She'd rather be miserable than admit she'd lost. So is cheating a sign of weakness or just human nature? It's neither. It's a coping mechanism. People cheat for one of three reasons: to escape the pain of being single, to avoid the work involved in maintaining a long-term relationship, or to cope with the fear of losing their partner. All of these reasons stem from a lack of self-awareness, not a lack of morals. People cheat because they don't understand themselves. They don't know what they want or how to communicate it. I ended up breaking up with my high school sweetheart. After he cheated, I realized he wasn't the guy I thought he was. But looking back, I realize I played a part in it too. I was too focused on the idea of a perfect relationship that I ignored red flags and neglected my own needs. You may have been cheated on, or maybe you've cheated yourself. Either way, it doesn't make you a monster. It just makes you human.